Good morning, everybody. I'm here to give you another lesson. It will just be me today. But before we dive into the actual lesson part, I need you to all to stand up. We're going to do a dance. Now, some of you may know this from VBS, especially if you attended the Journey Church where they did the roar. But I want you guys all, whether you know it or not, just to join in, follow the actions on screen. And just give it your all. Come on, let's rock!
You're watching iFree Kids.
What does it mean to worry? Worry is when we are afraid or concerned because we do not know what's going to happen. And what does worry do? Well, Proverbs 12:25 tells us that anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. Worry weighs you down. I want you to watch what happens when I put these 2 cans of soda in water. What happens to this one? It sinks right to the bottom. Now, what will happen this? It floats right to the top. Worry is like this. It weighs you down. It causes you to sink. Do you know what's the difference between these 2 cans? Apart from, obviously, they're different colors. Any idea? This. Sugar. sugar is like worry. It weighs you down. Sometimes in more than one way. And you know what happens when we allow worry to come into your life? It weighs us down. It causes us to sink. Jesus is able to ease a worry. He's able to take it away. So what do we do with those fears? Well, 1 Peter 5:7 tells us to cast all our anxiety on Him because He cares for us, or He cares for you. You see, we can give Jesus our worry, and He will take it away because He loves us, and He cares for us. He will stop making us feel like we're weighed down, but like we can float, like we're so much lighter if we just give our worries to Him. Let's focus on 1 Peter 5:7, which says, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. Well, what does it mean? This oil represents worry. So we're just going to remember that by writing it on a piece of paper. Worry. My 2 R's kind of look like an N, but it is meant to be 2 R's. And I also brought some water with me. And this water represents trusting God. Ooh. So we're going to write that again. Hopefully you're able to read this better than you were my worry. Now, to make it easier for us to see, I'm going to add some blue food coloring to our water. So I almost got to turn it around so you guys can see it a little bit more. And then mix it all together. So it's nice and blue. Well, what do you think? Can worry and trusting God mix together? Well, let's see. Just before we see if worry and trust can mix together, let's talk about what it means to trust God. Any ideas? Well, trusting God means that you remember that He is in control of everything and He knows everything. So we don't have to be afraid or worried because He's got it. Does God want us to be worried when we trust Him? I don't know. Well, let's see. Can trust and worry mix? At first, they appear to mix. But then if you look close, they start to separate. Because worry and trust can't mix together. So, can trust and worry mix? No. Our hearts cannot be full of both worry and fully trust God at the same time. And God wants us to trust Him. He wants us to, whenever we feel worried, give it to Him. Ask Him for help. Because God, like I said, God knows everything. He knows the past. He knows what's happening right now in the present. And He knows what's going to happen in the future. He wants us to fully trust Him. So why don't we? How can we trust God? Well, trusting God comes from knowing Him. Let's look at it like this. Every time you get into the car with your parent or your friend's parents, you feel safe and comfortable. We believe that they're going to get us to our destination safely. And why do we trust them? Well, we trust them because we've built a personal relationship with them. So when they get in that driver's seat, we feel comfortable and confident that they will get us to where we need to be safely and without allowing us to get hurt. You see, it's that relationship that builds trust. So what stops us from trusting God? Well, one of the main things is the fact that God allows both good things and bad things to happen to us. Now, be very clear. God does not create the bad things. He just allows them to happen to us. God can't create evil because He's not bad. He's good. as we get to know him more, we can trust him that that he has a reason for those bad things to happen. There's plenty of Bible stories about this. Can you guys think of any? Well, for example, there's Job. Job was so faithful to God. You know, he loved God. But God allowed the devil to make bad things happen to Job. And Job ended up losing everything. Like, all his children died, all his animals died and ran off. And everything bad happened to Job. But Job stayed faithful to God and trusted God. And then in the end, God blessed him and gave him way more things than he could have ever imagined. So the more we know God, the more we can trust him in times like this. What are some of the things we can do to get to know God more? Well, we can read our Bible, pray, meet with other Christians, because when you meet with other Christians, you can share and talk about all the cool things God has done. You can also go to church when you're allowed to go back to church, and that will help you grow in your relationship with God. But right now, you can do church online, and that's still going to help you grow. Today's challenge is pretty simple. I want you to find another Bible story where somebody faced trials and difficulties, even though they were godly and faithful. Then I want you to tell your mom or dad or your brother or sister that story. Sounds simple, right?